guys, this is Zach with Pemberton Detailing. I get a lot of customers, especially coated vehicle customers, asking how to properly wash the vehicle without scratching and installing swirl marks into the paintwork. So we're going to go over that today, everything from towels to chemicals, and more importantly, the correct procedure to actually do that scratch-free on your vehicle. A few things you're going to need for your car wash. One is going to be either a soap or a rinseless wash. We're going to be doing a rinseless wash today. Small bucket of water. You do not need a large bucket of water. And some actual wash mitts. These are from Auto Fiber. They actually flip inside and out, so you can get several clean sides to clean your paintwork with. And then finally, you're going to need your drying towels and a drying aid. And we do have a few things that are optional. One's going to be a leaf blower. For you coated vehicle customers, I highly recommend you using this. This is going to basically do away with these drying towels for you. And that just means that you're not going to be dragging these across the surface, causing marring and causing scratching on the vehicle. So you got to look at the lifetime of that coating, whether it's 4 or 5 years, 2 years. The least amount you can possibly touch the vehicle, the better. All right, guys, just want to take a second and talk about the detail keg. Just want to give a shout out to Dave Barker. He's actually the founder of these, and you can buy these online, detailkegs.com. Essentially, this gives you a pressurized water source without having a pressure washer, which can constantly fail, especially those cheaper units that you'll have to replace every year, or even quicker than that. And it gives you a great rinse down of the vehicle, so you can knock off that heavy stuff before you actually start touching the vehicle. That rinse stage is very important in any type of wash. So just real quickly, it's basically 3 pieces. You have the tank, you have a charge line, if you want to call it that, and then you have the hose with the nozzle. So just real quick, connect it up to your compressed air source. That's going to charge it. If you want to leave this on here, you can do that, and you'll have a consistent pressure the entire time you're washing the vehicle. Or you can take this outside if you're at an apartment or anything like that, and literally carry this out to the car, so you don't have to drag a garden hose and all that good stuff. And lastly, it has an outside port, and that's how you're going to get your pressurized water. You can select it to a jet, select it to a fan mode, just by the twist of a nozzle there. So a great little innovation from Detail Kegs. All right, guys, basically going to break this up into 3 steps. First is going to be your rinsing stage. Second is going to be your contact wash, where you're physically touching the vehicle. And third is going to be your drying stage. But first off, we're going to get a really thorough rinse, try to knock off some of this heavier mud, and get those heavier loose particles off the vehicle first. So literally just work top to bottom. Now, if you do not have a detail keg, you can just use a spray bottle. There's actually bottles, they call them double pump sprayers. So a typical bottle you squeeze in and let out, it only sprays once. Those double pump sprayers, we're going to start selling those as well. Essentially, whenever you squeeze, that's one pump. Whenever you release, that's another. So you can get a large volume of water actually out on the panels. But essentially, I'm just trying to work everything top to bottom. Just rinse everything down the best we can. All right, so that's going to be the first step. Next, we'll go to mixing our bucket of solution to actually lubricate the panels as we are washing. All right, next up here, you're going to need a small bucket of water. When I say small, I mean very small. We're not filling up a 5-gallon bucket of water and wasting all that. Essentially, I've got a 2-gallon bucket here and literally just a half a gallon of water in there. So not a lot of water at all. Finally, with your rinseless wash, you're going to need 1 ounce of product for that amount of water. If you do a gallon of water, that's fine too. But essentially, this is a Pro Blend, basically measuring device, so I can squeeze the bottle until it gets up to 1 ounce. And then I'm just going to pour that in the bucket of water. And there you're going to have your rinseless wash. And the only reason we have this bucket of water is to take our microfiber mitts. You're going to need 3 of these per vehicle. dunk them down in here, and you want it to saturate those towels. You see there's not much more water than the towels, so I'm not wasting any water. I'm just using enough to saturate these towels and really soak that solution in. So now with our mitts from Auto Fiber, they have two sides. You flip them over and you have two more sides. These are perfectly clean. These have been through the washer. These haven't been reused or anything. So if you look at most vehicles, you can break up an entire side in 4 panels. So you've got 1 panel here, 2 panels, 3 panels, and finally 4 panels. So you've got 4 sides of the mitt. Just work top to bottom. That way you have a clean side of the towel for every single panel. You don't put this back in your solution bucket or anything. When you're done with it, throw it away. Not throw it away, but put it through the washer. That way the next time you have a perfectly clean towel. So, like I said, just working top to bottom. All right, so the next step of the washing process is going to be rinsing all that dirt off the vehicle. So as we agitated it with the microfiber mitt, it's still suspended on the paint, so we need to rinse all that down off the panels before we start touching it with a drying towel. Another thing that is very important is going to be a drying aid. The reason we use a drying aid is if the car has no protection on the vehicle, all that water is going to want to lay flat on the panel, and it's going to fill up your drying towel a lot quicker. So we just use a simple hydrophobic spray. Any detail spray or anything like that will actually make the paint bead up enough to where you're not drying as much water off the vehicle with a drying towel or by forced air with a leaf blower or something of that sort. So first off, rinse everything top to bottom. Now finally, with our quick detail spray or any type of hydrophobic coating, this isn't going to be a permanent protection. This is just to make the paint bead up a little bit. I'll spray that on and use the water to essentially spread that product out over the panel. That makes the paint bead up real nice, which means most of the water is running off the panel, so we don't have to dry as much water off the vehicle. Therefore, you can actually dry the car with a smaller drying towel. All right, so you've got 2 different methods for actually drying the vehicle. The obvious choice is going to be microfiber drying towels, and the second and even better choice is going to be forced air. So we use an electric leaf blower. There's just one from Works. The corded versions definitely have way more power than the battery versions, and they're going to last longer. You don't have to worry about charging the battery. So for us here in the shop, this works great. They do have dedicated car dryers from Mighty Vac, and Big Boy is another real popular one. But we're actually not going to use these unless we're just getting some minor dribbles left over after using the forced air. Okay, so as far as drying with a leaf blower, simply put, just going to go top to bottom, really focusing around these mirrors and hinges and door handles. Those are the common areas. Once you're done washing your vehicle, as you drive off, they're going to leak down the car, leave little water dribbles and everything, so we want to make sure that doesn't happen for our customers. And obviously the biggest thing of using forced air is you're not touching the car with a drying towel, therefore scratching the vehicle. So the less you can touch the vehicle, the better. So that's pretty much everything, start to finish, on one side of the vehicle. That is using one wash mitt. Of course, you're going to have 2 other wash mitts in that bucket. Once again, you got 4 sides per mitt. So the other side is going to be exactly the same as this. You just split it up in 4 sections. Now the third mitt is going to be 4 sections once again. You'll have the front of the vehicle, have the hood, which will be 2 sections. The roof will be the 3rd section, and the back of the car, which is always the dirtiest part of the car, is going to be the 4th section. So as long as you follow these kind of guidelines, you can always tweak things if you can find something better to do. This is what we have found to work and not scratch the vehicle. Anytime you are touching the vehicle, remember you are scratching it. You will not see those marks first thing every single wash, but wash after wash, those scratch marks will start to pile up, and none of us want that. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video. All of our coating customers, this is what I definitely recommend you do every single wash. Do not do those drive-through car washes. They are going to wear on that coating. If you do not have a coated vehicle, just make sure you're using some type of hydrophobic spray to make that drying process easier. But please like, comment, and subscribe. Please let us know below anything else that you want us to go over as far as techniques. We're going to be doing some product reviews and stuff like that. Also, swing by the shop here. We're going to be getting some drying towels and some basic chemicals in here for you guys to actually purchase to maintain your vehicles. Not using over-the-counter stuff that you can get at AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, Walmart, stuff like that. So thank you for watching. Bye.